Hey, this is Dominic with Wholesale ATV, and want to thank you for making a purchase and let you know that people that purchase with us in the store, they get that once over, and I like to go over everything on the bike and teach them, what's going on with the bike so they can correctly operate it and know what's going on. People online that do online purchases, they don't get that experience, and I kind of want to give you that experience this way. So I'm going to try and go over these three different models that we sell. We sell a T-Force, this is a Cheetah, and this is a 125D. They all have a 125 motor. This one has a taller gearing. It's not really made to go up hills as much as the other two are. It will, but not as well. These models will do about 30-35 miles an hour, all of them. I'm going to go over some of the features with this one first and tell you what's going on with it. The key goes in right here. You turn it to the right one click, and you hold the brake. Make sure you hold the brake when you're trying to start it, because the starter will not engage unless you're holding either the front brake or the rear brake. Hold the brake in, and the starter switch is right here. Push that starter switch and it'll start right up for you. You gotta make sure your kill switch is down and this is connected. Pretty simple, give it a little gas, and you're good to go. Now, we also have kill switches and key fobs with this model, and it has a lock, unlock, and auto start feature on it. This comes in it comes in really good handy when the parent is not so comfortable with the child, they're out riding it, and you're standing there, and they might be doing something they shouldn't do. You can hit the lock button, it'll kill the vehicle. It'll kill the vehicle, and you can, from a decent distance, I think it's like 200 feet, and it won't start again until you hit the unlock button, so that comes in handy. Another thing I wanted to show you guys is going to be the carburetor. The carburetor is on the left side. You can get to the choke lever, it's on the left side on top of the motor. Choke down is going to be choke off. Choke on would be lever up. Now you're only going to use that if the vehicle isn't starting for you, it's been sitting for a few days and it's cold outside and it needs to be warmed up. So just flip that choke up, let it run for a second, flip the choke back down, you're good to go. It also has a fuel switch right here, which comes in handy for when you're going to let it sit for more than a week, and the fuel will keep going into the carburetor, and it'll gum up the carburetor if you just let that gas sit in there. So if you turn this fuel switch to off and then run the vehicle until it dies, that means all the gas is cleared out and you can let it sit for a while and it's not going to do any damage to your carburetor. And while we're down here, might as well talk about the foot shifter. The foot shifter is, we have different types of shifters for different types of vehicles. That T-Force is a hand shifter, this one's a foot shifter. Some people think that gets in the way, some people like the foot shifter. It's the same, except all you do is push it forward for drive, neutral, and reverse is backwards. Fairly easy. You're going to want to run 93 octane in these, non-ethanol or 93 octane is going to be the best. 87, it'll run, it's just not going to run as good as the higher octane. You also have an indicator on the top here that shows you what gear you're in, drive, neutral, or reverse, which is also helpful. We have a throttle control screw over here. You back the throttle control screw out, it gives you all the throttle. Run it in, break the nut loose and run it in. It'll block that throttle off so it won't be able to go the full speed. This will do 30-35 miles an hour. And if you don't feel comfortable with whoever's riding to go that fast, you judge the speed and run the screw down accordingly. The battery on the model is underneath the seat. There's a gold lever behind the seat, underneath the seat. You pull that, and you can see the battery. Now we sell these batteries, if anything happens, we sell them I think about $35 a piece. You can get them at any major auto parts store, Walmart. And we also send you a charger in the box when you do purchase it. Now this charger doesn't have an auto kill feature on it. It'll charge your battery up, but when the battery's fully charged, it doesn't stop charging. So we recommend a Shoemaker battery tender, which we have a link on our website for you guys to go check out and purchase. It has that auto kill feature, so when the battery is fully charged, it stops charging the battery. Putting the seat back on is pretty simple. Send the front in, lock the rear back. I wanted to go over some of the different type of models, and I wanted to show you this one as well. This is the 125D, and I mentioned a little bit in an earlier video about how this one has a taller gear. It doesn't climb hills as well. This one has the 16-inch wheel, and they're smaller wheels than the other one. On the taller gear, it's gonna be a little boggier down low. The shifter is on the side. It's a little shorter shifter, but it's a hand shifter. I also wanted to tell you on the last video and this video, oil change is necessary because we do run break-in oil in them when you first buy them, which is a thicker oil. It helps break in and seat the motor correctly. You're going to want to change that oil to 1040 ATV oil, 4-cycle. It's pretty simple to do. It only takes 3/4 of a quart. The fill is over here on this side, and the drain plug is underneath the case. It's the bigger bolt. That's the drain plug bolt, and it's a 17mm. All you really need to do when you're changing the oil is break that drain plug loose, let the oil fall out, put the drain plug back in, and then fill accordingly on the side, and make sure that your level of oil stays within the bracket on the dipstick. Hey guys, well, I wanted to show you another one of our 125 Youth ATV models, and this is our most popular brand, most popular 125 model. This one has the hand shifter. It's a little taller hand shifter. It is a 125. It is a little bit better for climbing hills than that one is. I want to go over again quickly how to do the alignment on it so that you guys know if it's ever out of whack, you know how to do it. It's very simple. Make sure your bars are straight up front. Come on down to the wheels, and there's a gold bar with behind your wheel right here. It's got 2 nuts on the end of this bar. You're gonna break those nuts loose, make them loose, and then you spin this bar. You spin it one direction, the tire will spin out. Spin it the other direction, it'll come in. Once you get those both lined up correctly so they look straight when the handlebars are straight, you're all lined up and good to go. This is going to conclude our Youth ATV 125 models, and thank you.